In today's video, I'm revisiting Repartee, a mechanic that I absolutely adore from Secrets of Strixhaven, but this time around is going to be in a more Momo-focused shell. That means that we are leaning into Flyers, because Momo says the first non-lemur creature spell with flying that you cast during each of your turns is going to cost 1 generic mana less to cast. We have 4 other Flyers in the list that we want to be casting out for a bit of a discount. 4 copies of Deep Cavern Bat. You've all grown to love and or hate this card, I'm sure. Scheming Silvertongue also getting the discount. This is a card that I have been itching to throw into a deck. So far, it has been working pretty well, especially when we can pump it up a little bit and it can activate its own prepare mechanic. Sign in Blood is a pretty powerful spell to have access to. Stirring Hopesinger is really the backbone of this deck. We are going quite wide. Usually we're going to have 4 or 5 creatures on the board. If we can start triggering the Stirring Hopesinger, this thing gets out of control very fast, putting +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures. And then the Darkstar Augur, we do gain quite a bit of life in this deck, so getting a little bit of extra card draw with this card is a pretty big upside. There is one more creature in the deck that doesn't have flying, and that is the Informed Inkwright, but I think this card is well worth the 4 slots in the deck because every time we trigger its Repartee, it's going to create a 1/1 flying Inkling creature token. That's going to be fantastic, obviously, with the Hopesinger for putting +1/+1 counters on things, and also all of those Inklings are going to be triggering Momo, making Momo a 3/3, 4/4, 5/5 quite often. The rest of the cards in the deck are instant and sorcery speed spells that are going to allow us to trigger the Repartee. Of course, 4 copies of Practiced Offense. This has flashback, so it kind of works as like 8 triggers for Repartee. Same thing goes for Dig Site Inventory with the flashback there. 2 copies of Erode, just in case emergencies happen. Sometimes you just really need to get rid of a Slicky, and if you're sitting there and Slickshot Show-Off's coming at you with 10, 12, whatever damage, you're going to be in trouble. So you really need something that you can kill it at instant speed with. Requiting Hex also does the same thing here. A lot of decks these days are seemingly running Seam Rip, but of course we want to be playing instants and sorceries, so Requiting Hex is better over Seam Rip in this deck. And then the last card is the Honor. This thing is similar to Dig Site Inventory, but it is only one-time usage, but it does draw us a card, so it is also pretty great. So that is the deck. We're going to hop into some games and see if we can make an Orzhov flying list. I don't know, climb the ladder a little bit, I suppose. See you over in the games. All right, trying to have some fun with Repartee, a mechanic that I really do enjoy. I've been playing the deck quite a bit, honestly. Not a great hand. This hand looks fine, though. What are we throwing away? Do we throw away the interaction? I feel like that is the way. Surely not. Maybe we throw away the Dig Site Inventory. Like, we're not really triggering... Yeah, okay. Fine. Erode. Erode's for, like, big emergencies. Oh, no. We're going to have a big emergency. Stadium Headliner is scary. Okay, let's rush out the Momo. I've been playing in the deck a lot. It's a whole lot of fun. The problem with the deck is that it's just, like, a little bit too honest for the pure nonsense that exists in Standard these days. Like, things are strong. Things are real strong. Another Dig Site Inventory. So we get to put this Scheming Silvertongue onto the field for 1 mana, and I guess we load up this. If they decide that they want to blast the Scheming Silvertongue with one of those Stadium Headliners, they're going to have a little bit of trouble doing it at 4 mana or 4 toughness. Although the Delaney is really good there. We draw... You know what? That's not bad, because now we can practice offense. We could also just like load up a huge Scheming Silvertongue. And maybe that's fine. We're not blocking anything because of Delny. I'm surprised they didn't attack last turn. That's really, really weird. So is the best play to go Scheming Silvertongue just to get the discount? Lose a little bit of life here. Do this on this one and then do another one and just try to gain some life back. So we're going to be at 18, and then next turn I think probably the opponent dies with practiced offense, especially if we end up drawing a land. Is that true? No, it's probably not true, actually. It's not quite enough damage, is it? Oh, we're dead. We're so dead. Oh, the Delny... we're still dead, though. The Delny can be blocked now because the Ward Leader's Call does pump it up just ever so slightly. And so what am I at? 14 life. So if I block here, I go up to 18. Thank you. I love this animation. 18 life, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 damage coming in. Fine. Do they have a pump spell or something that with that 2 mana? Crazy. That's fine, though. We got to kill them on the next turn, though. We need a land. Untap land. Please untap land. Is it untapped land? Stirring Hope Singer. Ay. So how much damage is this actually going to be? This is going to be 5, 10. Yeah, no. What am I saying? We got there. We got there against a very scary Delny deck. And just barely, though, by the skins of our teeth. So yes, this deck, pretty awesome, pretty fun to play. But the format's powerful. we gained an entire 1 rank there. Ooh, climbing fast. Game number 2. Hoping to see Momo on turn 1. We really want to see Momo into Stirring Hope Singer. That's the goal. Okay. Lately, I've been finding that Requiting Hex has not been doing much for me. Like an embarrassingly low amount of targets for yes. I don't know what that was. But we drew. Oh man, it's such a shame that the opponent scooped that one up. It's not even a real game. But we had a good hand. Although our mana base was going to be a little funky. Ace of Magic is maybe our real second opponent. Maybe they'll stick around and actually play this one through. 2 Shattered Sanctums means that our mana base is real bad. Means we're not going to do anything until turn 3 unless we draw a land on turn 2. The hand is okay, but no, I don't think it's good enough to keep. This looks better, right? So we throw away the Godless Shrine. We throw away the Shattered Sanctum. It doesn't really matter what we do. And we go out with the Godless Shrine on 1. What do you think? Actually, I think it might be Concealed Courtyard on 1. Just so that we can maybe use our Requiting Hex on something. I was just saying in the last one before the opponent scooped it up, Requiting Hex, not a lot of targets these days for some reason. I just cannot find somebody to fire off the Requiting Hex onto. Momo was a pretty cool draw there, though. I don't know what a Theater means from the opponent. Because you don't see a whole lot of... Oh, dinosaurs. Uh-oh. It might be okay. Oh? It must be dinosaurs. But the Sandstep Citadel is a little bit of an unusual one. And they've just tossed 2 lands. So we're actually in pretty good shape here. The problem is we don't have good targets for our Requiting Hex. Now I could get a little silly and I could shock. I'm going to shock this in no matter what. I could use the Requiting Hex on the Momo and pump up the Scheming Silvertongue so that I don't hate it. Is it crazy? I know what I'm against. The Momo is not useful. I think, as crazy as this might sound, I'm murdering the Momo because I want this to be a 2/2. Now, of course, they could play something and I could have eroded it, but I don't think I have an erode target this turn. I don't think they're doing anything. So I really want to fire off this Sign in Blood at the start of my next turn before main phase, before attacks, and try to find like an Honor or a Dig Site Inventory. It might look crazy to do that, but I think it actually made sense. Practiced offense is really good. The opponent hasn't put anything scary into the graveyard, so I think we actually shift. And now that sucks because now Momo's dead. If Momo were here. Oh, if Momo were here. But you can't resist not getting in 12 points of damage here, right? You didn't know you were going to draw the practiced offense. You couldn't have banked on that. I think, let me know. That was a controversial play. I think that was playing 4D chess kind of situation, and whether or not it was actually a good way to go about things, I don't know. We got lucky drawing the practice offense, though, that we didn't need to desperately draw with the Sign in Blood. And the opponent down to 1 mana. I think the opponent, they didn't live the dream. How many opponents have you faced when you are against a dinosaur opponent where they go turn 1 Conduit Pylon. Top part of their library is a Galta, and they're able to Galta on turn 3 because they have like turn 2 Saheeli's Lattice into the Foggy Swamp Visions, right? Just Fabe is officially opponent number 3, I suppose. We'll forget that one weird game happened. Don't like it, but we might end up drawing into something good, and then hand disruption with the Deep Cavern Bats on turn 2 could be kind of neat. You know what I think this deck... See, the Momo decks are weird. I feel like I want to have more 3 CMC flyers so that on turn 2 I could fire off a 3 CMC card here. There are few things that tilt me more than an opponent who has a Fanatical Firebrand the turn I put out Momo, because nobody has a Fanatical Firebrand. It's not like it's a card that people play. Okay, I want them to use the shock on the Deep Cavern Bat. I don't want them to use the Fanatical Firebrand. It's too clean. I want them to waste 1 mana. Oh, that's interesting. We draw a card, right? Oh, man. See, I wanted them to use the shock on the Deep Cavern Bat first, because I wanted to be able to put the Informed Inkwright onto the field cleanly. Dang. Okay. Well, so do I have to pivot now and just use Deep Cavern Bat to take... The problem is they're going to use the Nova Hellkite next turn, but I guess I'm just going to take the damage anyways. Although, okay, let's slow them down a little bit. I really want to get... I guess I couldn't have done what I was planning on doing anyways because the Abandoned Air Temple was coming in tapped. But yeah, that was just a weird one. And they found another... Oh, no. That's the Fanatical Fire... Oh, no. They found another Fanatical Firebrand. Oh, the opponent is living a fairy tale dream world. That's insane. 3 Fanatical Firebrands against my X1 draw. Oh, it's delightful. It's so good. People, man. People around here are so talented. And so now I have this weird situation where I actually, like, I put out the Informed Inkwright and it gets blasted for the shock. And I, like, no value anything. Oh, man, it's tough. I guess I'm just going to use the Requiting Hex here on the lizards. Yeah, fine. Take 1. I don't think I have... Oh, man, this game completely got out of my... Like, just way out of control for me. Stirring Hopesinger is good, though. So, if they end up having a land, what they can do is Nova Hellkite into Shock to take out the Hopesinger. But they do need 4 mana to do that. And I desperately need to find... Wow. Well, it's not the worst case. We need to find something to activate Repartee now. A Honor or Dig Site Inventory will both be really good. Or even just a land for the Abandoned Air Temple, if I can trigger that. Okay. I'm okay with this. I think it's better to put out the Scheming Silvertongue and just wait on the practice offense. We are going to be taking damage from this Nova Hellkite, 4 damage, but we can then start gaining life with the Silvertongue, maybe? We also take damage from the... Yes. Okay, it's fine. It's really not fine. This game's so weird. This one's a funky one, right? Okay. Well, we're sticking to the plan of practiced offense, double strike, gain 4. Do I just gain 4? That's fine, right? Yep. I don't want to take more damage from the Godless Shrine. And then practiced offense and maybe even Signed in Blood next turn. A little bit of reach to take the opponent down. Did they run out of gas? They used a lot of their resources keeping us down. That's Goodness gracious, that's tilting though, isn't it? Land. Land is interesting. So does that mean I should do Sign in Blood first? And then practiced offense, Sign in Blood. How much damage? Hang on. They don't have anything. So if I do practiced offense, boom, boom, this is going to be 9 damage. I'm doing it. I'm going for it. Yeah, baby. Okay. Here. It's fine. Don't care. Don't care. Double strike. This is such a cool kill. Draw some cards, opponent. Attack. Not with the Informed Inkwrite. This is wonderful. We trigger double Sign in Blood. Live in the dream. Giving the opponent 4 cards this turn and ending the game like that. It puts a smile on my face to be able to do that. Oh, it's so much fun. Honestly, doesn't matter what happens from this point on. We could bomb the rest of the video. That's the coolest thing I'm going to do in this video. Never forget, Sign in Blood, secretly a burn spell. Secretly a burn spell. That game was so weird. I thought I was so done. I don't like this opening hand, but honestly, Scheming Silvertongue, I'm so high on it from that last game. I think we got to try it out one more time. Let's hope it's an opponent that has a juicy target for this Requiting Hex, though, because it just doesn't have a whole lot of targets these days. Oh, green. Hey. Oh, not. That's fine, though. I'd rather hit a Badger Molcub on the following turn. So we're going to put the Informed Inkwrite onto the field. Hope that we find a practiced offense soon. Practiced offense? It's just so good. It's the card that allows this deck to have even the slightest hope of being a deck in this format. Ooh, that's a cool land. I don't know if I've ever seen. Oh, it's the Marvel one. Just I guess I never paid attention to it. Okay, put down a Badger Molcub, please, Alez. No. Don't think about killing the Informed Inkwrite. There's no reason to go after the Informed Inkwrite. Also, our mana base is a little bit funked up right now because we do only have 1 black source and we have a whole bunch of black cards. So no more... No more white sources, please. Let's go after their hand. Let's see what the opponent's working with. This feels like it's a Selesnya counters list. Bright Glass Gearhulk, probably. Yeah. So they do have Badgie. They have the land. Everything's bad. I think we just lose this game. So let's take the... Oh my god, it's so bad. Everything kills us. It doesn't really matter what we do. They were nice and slow so that they never really gave us a nice target for the Requiting Hex. And then this what are we going to do about this? Like, Bright Glass Gearhulk is just going to go get 2 more Seam Rips and absolutely destroy everything that we could possibly do. But I suppose it's always possible that they don't have a 4th land. Patch Recruit is awfully good too, because that allows them to... Yeah. We're dead, right? We're so dead. I have to do this. Paw Patch goes up to a 3-power creature. We drew all of our planes. We don't have that many planes in the deck, but I think probably we were running a little bit too hot recently with that last game, getting the kill with the cheeky kill with this. Probably just a bad keep overall. Leatherhead, we can't interact with it. We take 3 damage, and practiced offense is fine. Do I put the Scheming Silvertongue on the field now? Or no? You know what? Let's put out the Augur. Unfortunately, the Augur, I can't even offspring it because it costs 1 black. Whereas this one, it's so weird. I don't know. This offspring is so much more powerful than most other offsprings. Like, I love Paw Patch Recruit. I think it's a fantastic card. But there's no question that it is just absolutely cracked. Okay. So, we die? I didn't even count the damage. It's not quite lethal damage yet. but the Darkstar Augur might end up killing me if we find like another practiced offense. Wouldn't that be a nice way to go? I wouldn't even be too upset about it if this killed me here. It was foretold. If it's another practiced offense, it'll kill me. What a scuffed game. If I didn't want to draw it, I wouldn't have put it in my deck, I suppose, right? You gotta accept it. Opening hand, fantastically bad. Second hand, oh man, this mana base is just murdering me, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna hope that we draw. Does it really matter? Like an untapped land would be pretty good for the next turn to be able to get the Informed Inkrite on the field. But even just putting out the Godless Shrine into the Momo, into the Deep Cavern Bat, and then working towards the Informed Inkrite. I really want to get this on the field, obviously, with a practiced offense, because even just getting 1 or 2 triggers off of it is pretty insane. Yeah, okay. Hope Singer, cool for the future, maybe. We still need a land. We desperately need a land, and we take their Badgermolka. That's some good news. So land or bust. Land actually is probably what we really... Land honor, land dig site inventory. Maybe those are kind of like the better ways to go about things. Can't attack in anymore because of the spider manifestation. There's a land. So it's just going to be Stirring Hope Singer this turn. It does pump that up. You know what? I challenge the spider manifestation. If they want to give me a spider manifestation for a Momo, I think I do that all day long. Okay, Ouroboride. Bad news. Bad news, Bears, because that's now a 3/3 spider manifestation that is crashing in. That is an aggressive attack from the opponent. Love it. Love, love, love it. Okay. Well, we're doing our thing now. Where am I going to put the double strike? It doesn't matter, right? It literally doesn't matter. So put it onto one of the life linkers. Double strike. Sure. Well, we didn't draw a land, but they're down to 4. They have a ton of damage coming in at us, but you know, this is pretty good. A land off the top is going to be really good here because then we can go Informed Inkrite into the practiced offense. And that is an irrelevant card. They only have 1 Reacher. So, good. What is that last card that you have in your hand? If it's a fight spell, disaster. But it would have to specifically be a 1 CMC, like a Bushwhack. There's no way, right? There's no way they have a Bushwhack. Sure. Okie dokie. Land. Good. It's extra gravy. We get to do practiced offense, make a baby, go super wide, and we got revenge against our own practiced offense murdering us against the last Selesnya opponent. Can only go downhill from here, I suppose. Shouldn't say that though. I'm just jinxing myself. Open in hand. I'm gonna try it. We have the Momo. We just want Momo on turn 1, right? That's the key. A Cecil. Am I afraid of a Cecil? I'm afraid of what a Cecil deck has, because a Cecil deck will probably have Requiting Hex, something like that. We need more black mana. I actually don't know if the deck... One thing that I am kind of starting to notice is that the black mana requirement is a little bit higher than I maybe originally anticipated, and that I don't... What? I may have to readjust some of those numbers. So when Gwen Stacy enters, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as you control this creature. They exile the second Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy begets Gwen Stacy's. Yeah, I think I've read that before. Let's see what the opponent's working with. Hopefully it's nothing too terrifying. Oh, hello, Aang. Hello, Aang. Let's draw a card with Honor while we still can. And it is another white source, which is not okay. It's not the worst. It's not the worst because we can go Scheming Silvertongue into Dig Site next turn. And if they're just sitting on like a flip Cecil, yeah, it's a problem, but I'm just going to push it, I suppose. What is this mystery card that you drew, opponent? Show it to me. Show me your mystery card. I guess next turn we're definitely not going out with Screaming Silver Tongue. We're definitely going to be getting rid of Cecil because we can't allow Cecil to start gaining 4 life a turn. Okay, a second Gwen Stacy, a desperation Gwen Stacy, just to see a new card, Cloak and Dagger. Okay, when this enters, choose target opponent and up to 1 target creature they control. They reveal their hand. You may exile a card from their hand or the chosen creature until Cloak and Dagger leaves the battlefield. That's a lot of words. How much damage do we have? 6? Am I counting right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The opponent took 2 damage from the Godless Shrine, didn't they? Let's give the glory to Momo. Glory to Momo. Found the line. That game might have gotten out of our control had they been able to play that Cloak and Dagger on the next turn, but finding the lethal because they had to shock in. What a damaging mana base they have, going 5 color, maybe 5 color, 5 color cool stuff. I don't know what's going on with this deck. It's kind of neat though. At least 4 colors, right? Sure. We are going up against some higher number players now, number 450, and yeah, maybe I should probably look at the mana base before I continue on with more games here. This hand looks fine. We throw away a Momo, it's fine. Obviously, if they have removal for the Momo, it's going to be bad news, but they are a life gain deck. Life gain decks do have removal for Momo, I suppose. I wonder if... Okay, that's good. I'm actually looking at playing a life gain deck, maybe a black deck. I just need to spend more time with it and practice it before I jump into trying it out because, well, I make myself look like a dang fool when I don't know what I'm doing. Practiced offense is a pretty great draw. So we can go Scheming Silver Tongue into... Dang, I put out the wrong land. Okay, we can put out the Informed Inkwright because it's a less shameful thing to do. I needed to put this out, and I needed to go black, and maybe kill the Leonardo. So worst case scenario, we take a little bit of damage from the Leonardo here. They gain a little bit of life, but I don't think it's such a big deal. Maybe I'm going to regret it. We'll see. Hinterland Sanctifier, do they have the follow-up to CMC creature? Could be bad news. A Sheltered by Ghost, taking the Informed Inkwright probably. I don't know, both are bad. I think you take the Inkwright though. It goes just a little bit too wide and they don't exactly have a lot of evasion in this deck. So now we are at a spot where I have to decide whether or not I want to kill the Leonardo or get back my Informed Inkwright, and I think it's probably just kill the Leonardo, right? And we have the practiced offense, we have the Scheming Silver Tongue, we're going to be able to draw some cards later. I think it's probably fine just to blast right away. Well, yeah, they're tapped down. What am I saying? I guess they have this that they can crack, sacrifice it. Creatures in your graveyard can be cast again. So they can cast Leonardo this turn if they really wanted to sacrifice their Case of the Uneaten Feast. Starscape Cleric doesn't block us. So this is maybe just an Orzhov drain deck, which is a big old problem. Oh, okay. I'll trade 2 for 1. I think it's fine. Oh, actually, that's a... I wasn't thinking. I'm always not thinking. So, I need to make sure that they lose life this turn. They can't block with the Cleric. So we will give double strike here. Take them down by 6. So that means that their creatures are a little bit less threatening because of their Leyline of Hope going offline here. And then next turn, what we can do is Stirring Hopesinger into practiced offense as long as they don't touch our Momo. Opponent's not really drawing super well. What's the follow-up? Conviction? Did they lose life this turn? I don't know. Okay, well, we're sticking to the plan of doing Hopesinger into offense. Right? Yeah, it's got to be this way. It's just it's way too much damage going on the opponent's face. I really need to keep them off of that 27. And this is a good way to do 13 points of damage to the opponent. Also sets us up with some really good blockers. With a really good blocker, I suppose. And I do have the Sign in Blood. Maybe, although 2 planes with Sign and Blood kind of sucks. Sheltered by Ghost, what a top deck! Oh my goodness. The opponent, oh, hopes and dreams for everybody. What a draw. That's how you get up to level 450. You you draw like that. Okay, deck. They drew arguably the best card in their deck. Surely we will also draw the best card in our deck, which is going to be a Requiting Hex right now. Maybe? It's pretty good. Opponent's kind of like stuck. It's your go, opponent. Okay, really weird situation there. The opponent like got like locked into the combat. I don't know what that was all about. But they get their Lunar Conviction stuff, which allows them to make a bat, which is bad news for us. It's all bad. That top deck, it's too much. I think we can't really compete with double Shelter by Ghosts in the top. I didn't realize how bad it actually was. Double Shelter by Ghosts in their top 13. Oh man, some people around here, man. Okay, well, we still get to gain, I don't know, maybe I should have fired off that other dig site inventory, but I think probably we don't gain enough life. You know what, maybe not doing the second dig site inventory was smart, because it does allow me to have a vigilance blocker this turn and next turn. Makes things a little bit more complicated for them. But they have a Mozio, that's some good life gain. I suppose they gain 2, which lets them get back their Leonardo, which is going to be a bigger problem for me in the future. Also, they're draining me down with the Cleric. So unless I find... Honestly, I just need to find a way to snipe the start. Oh, they drew everything they needed. Wow. Wow. And how much damage is this? This is another 2 points of damage coming in. No, do I just die? Does this all gain them life? Yeah, I think I die. I die here. I think once in a while we all have to be reminded that sometimes you cannot beat the top of your opponent's library. And that was the case there. I think we had a pretty good back and forth there. I did everything that I possibly could do. But how do you beat Shelter by Ghost into Requiting Hex? And when you're drawing your third, Silver Tongue. I guess put better cards in your deck, right? I've seen people talk about what triggers them. You know, discard decks trigger them, for example, that kind of stuff. I don't think there's a single thing that triggers me more than an opponent top decking when they're empty-handed. When you can confirm the top deck was in fact the top deck, because sometimes like they have no card, or they have like 2 or 3 cards in hand and they draw like that perfect answer. It seems like they draw that perfect answer, and you always use the excuse like, oh, they top decked it. Maybe they had it, right? But when your opponent is sitting there empty-handed and that Shelter by Ghost just like magically works its way to the top of the library, it's like that for me will never ever crush my soul less. It's just too much for me to bear. Ooh, hello. What is this? Harmonized Trio. 1/1. Tap 2 untapped creatures. This becomes prepared, and they get a brainstorm for their effort. Okay. Let's just put the Augur onto the field and start drawing some cards. Pump up the Momo, get in for 2. Don't know what this means from like the opponent's perspective, what they could possibly be doing. Maybe it's a Merfolk deck. Maybe. Yep. Oh, I love it. Okay. It's actually pretty sweet. And we drew nicely. We drew actually kind of cracked. We hit the land, and then the Informed Inkwright allows us to blast the Harmonized Trio, which allows us to make a 1/1, pump up the Momo a little bit, get in for 4 points of damage, and the next turn we probably just kill them, which is insane to say. Maybe it's not dead on the next turn, but it's going to be 8 damage from just whatever creature I put the practice offense of the dig site inventory onto. 8, 9, 10. I had a lot of damage coming in. How much? I want to count it out. So let's say I attack in, they didn't have anything. So next turn I put out the Godless Shrine. I cast the dig site inventory onto the Darkstar Augur. It goes up to a 3/4. We make a baby, 1 damage here. and then we do that one more time, it makes another baby. So Momo will be 4 damage. This will be 4 double strike, 8, 9, 14. Am I right? Is it exactly 14 points of damage? Because this will get +1/+1 here. So that's 4, 8 damage. Momo gets +1 from the practiced offense, plus putting out 2 more of the Inklings. Goes up to 4. That's 12. And then this would have got +1 from this. So 14 damage. We had exact lethal on the next turn. That's pretty sweet. Frizz is opponent number 899, I think. I think I'm debating whether or not I want to just like straight up cut that one game. There was that second game where the opponent just didn't do anything. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You'll either have seen the opponent immediately concede, or you'll see a note about it. We have good... I'm going to keep this one. We need the top of our library to be kind to us. We have our lands, we have our creatures, but we need to find the repartee stuff. And finding more lands is not the repartee. Also, Llanowar Elf into Badger Mole Cub. Boy, oh boy. Isn't it so nice? How... we had a couple of times where we were able to go Momo into something, but not that often. Ooh. 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 Yeah. Let me draw 2 more lands. We might be cooked. Maybe I should have put out the Deep Cavern Bat and taken the Halana and Alana. But I think when you have a game like this, you kind of just get into a hopeful or a hopeless situation. Yeah. You know what? I'll accept 20 points of damage from the opponent on their turn 3. That was awfully clean, opponent. Yes, I could have put the ink right in front of something. But why? Jiminy, man. Some of those god starts. Okay, likely the last game. As long as we get a good one in here. That last game, pretty bad. We got the Hope Singer into the Silver Tongue. We get to go first. Oh, our mana base is awful. I didn't look. Oh, and I put out the wrong. I'm so bad. I'm just not thinking properly. It's fine. We're gonna draw. It's fine. We're going to draw an untapped Basic Plains. Basic Plains has been all over my deck. Okay, yeah, sure. No, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so they have an aggro. Oh, it would have been... Maybe it's fine. I think it would have been better to put out the Hope Singer this time, of course. But maybe we're just dead. No block. If you have it, you have it. Sure. So this experience was what I was experiencing earlier this morning, and it was just bad. It was bad. Admittedly, I put out the wrong land. Did it really matter? Would I have blocked with the Hope Singer? No. No way. Does the opponent have the exact 3, setup of cards that they need to do 22 points of damage? Yeah, it happens. That's 2 games where the opponents just lived their best lives. I'm going to play one more. Surely we will be gifted with a turn 1 Momo on the play. No. Erode, only white mana. Awful. Oh, it's awful. Okay. Let's hope that... I don't know. I probably should have kept the Erode there, I suppose. I don't know. This is entering frustration mode now. There's a Momo. Okay. Let's do that. Optimistic Scavenger. It would have been really nice to have the Erode being dumb and just playing poorly. It's really hard when you're... I don't know. How do you feel? Like, how do you cope with that stuff when you have your Selesnya or that Gruul opponent that puked 20 plus points of damage? Like, how much damage was that on turn 3? It was insane, right? I did just play a Squirrel combo deck and did have some of those situations recently myself, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, it can really get you down. This is the first time we are going to double up on the Dark Star Augur. We're making a 1/1 baby, pumping up Momo, praying not to get hit by a Shelter by Ghost. That's all we're hoping for. And no Shelter by Ghost means next turn we can actually do some pretty big damage. Skyward Spider, good from the origin of the Avengers. The okay, good. But they could still have Shelter by Ghost. That's a pretty bad card for us, though. The first strike really makes it hard for us to actually to get in. So we need Requiting Hex off the top now is going to be the best draw, and we have 3 draws. Not a Requiting Hex. Dead card. Requiting Hex. Requiting Hex. And the Deep Cavern Bat. Oh my goodness. We are finally living our dream. So we can do everything, correct? We can do that. We can do this. They're tapped out. This is so fine. Okay. So we do boom. Pay the 2. Okay. Just making sure that I'm going to be able to also cast out the Deep Cavern Bat. That is pretty big. And Deep Cavern Bat to take the Shelter by Ghost that's sitting there. They're always sandbagging Shelter by Ghost. It's not. What's worse? I don't care. I care a little. I think it's probably the spider woman thing. And then we can attack in with this one, or we hold it back. So this is going to give +1/+1/+1. They are going to be attacking in. Maybe we put the baby offspring in front of whatever they pump up. What? No, okay. Okay. Thought that was a little bit funky. So do they take this turn to just slam a Johnny? And if that's the case, I'm not too worried about that. Like, they're going to have a pretty good spider. But as long as they're not attacking in, we're definitely not out of the woodwork here yet. Okay, Johnny, to the field. They can pump it up, probably put a +1/+1 counter on something. Again, this is going to get double strike, so I do need to make sure that whatever I hold back for the spider on the following turn. We are also taking a lot. Oh, okay, please attack. I want to attack here. I don't want to take too much damage from these augers because we're not really gaining life yet. That's a second auger. That's a Hope Singer. Let's gain life. Yeah, probably. Sure. Pump up the Deep Cavern Bat. We need to make sure that we have a creature back to jump in front of the terrifying... Actually, let's just kill a Johnny, right? Yeah, let's kill a Johnny. The terrifying double striking 5/4. But we have plenty of stuff that we can put in the way. And then if we end up finding a land off the top of the library, we can do practiced offense doubled up. And that should probably end the game. Don't care about that. Momo, probably the creature that's going in front of the 5/4 double striking heroic spider. They have 1 card left. It's Maria Hill. I think we probably have them here. Do I even block? I just take 10 damage. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, buddy, okay. Damage from that. I gotta be a little bit careful, I suppose. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking too carefully. And like, this is just so much damage. We can BM a little bit, but I think we're just gonna go in with the team. And that's a little bit better. This is the type of Magic that I want to see. A little bit of a back and forth, not just somebody got to play 10 cards faster than another person got to play 1 card. Okay, ending on a good note, right? After a bit of a sour note. All right, so Momo, Orzhov, Flyers, I think has some potential, but I think overall the deck is just a little bit too honest for its own good. It is very interesting in what it's doing, but the problem is that a lot of decks in the format are just doing things that are so much more powerful, right? We don't exactly have haste, so we're not doing the slick shot show-off stuff where you're just OTKing your opponent right off the bat. You're not doing Badger Molkov stuff, so you're not mana accelerating. You're not even doing Jeskai Revelation tablet stuff where you're also mana accelerating into crazy stuff. What you're doing is trying to get a very, very honest discount. Like, imagine the world we live in where Momo is like, yeah, I'll give you 1 generic on your first creature on your turn. What kind of restriction is that when you're like Badger Molcub, I don't know, everything just doubles its mana. Like, who are these two completely different people designing these cards? It sure seems that way. So Momo paling in comparison to the raw power of what other decks are capable of harnessing these days in standard. But still, I think the deck does have some cool stuff. I'm a little bit more hopeful for this deck toward 2027 when things rotate. Of course, we will lose a number of cards. Actually, I think just those two cards, right? It's mostly a Strixhaven deck for the most part. So Augur, don't care. Like, Augur's kind of cute. It worked somewhat okay in some of these games, but it's not a big deal. I would say Deep Combat will be a big loss to the deck. Like, you want to have that hand disruption, but maybe we'll end up finding something that's a good replacement for it. Overall, I think probably a Repartee deck will be a little bit better positioned once like the insane stuff is out of the format, assuming we don't get even more insane stuff over the next 3 sets. Or 4 sets, I guess. By the time rotation happens, it'll technically be on the 4th set, so it'll be 4 sets worth of new cards. Yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think. As always, I'd like to know and hear what you guys are, how you felt about this deck, what you think about it. If you made it to the end of the video, you're the end of the video club people. Thank you very much for sticking around. As always, very thankful to all of you. I hope you are having wonderful times playing Magic, and I hope your opponents aren't having the explosive starts that my 9th and 10th opponents did. So, do leave a comment down below. Let me know if there are any changes. Are there any Orzhov creatures that I have omitted or overlooked? Also, I would like a little bit of theory crafting about an Azorius version of this deck. I think cutting the black and putting in some kind of protection in the form of counterspells could be good. Of course, counterspells don't work necessarily well with your Repartee, but the problem is, like, this deck's biggest weakness is just eating an Avengers Disassembled or an Ill-Timed Explosion or a Day of Judgment or any number of other things. Deadly Cover-Up, I do know the name of that card now. Eating one of those is a big problem, so putting in a little bit of counter magic could be kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Always interested to hear them. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Hope you're having a great summer. And I will catch all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.